family, how are you all doing? Welcome back to my channel, and also welcome if you're new. My name is Lakna, and this is a channel where I love to share all my insights to do with Vedic astrology, tarot, numerology, and really connecting with the current planetary transits and especially the moon cycles. So in this video, I want to talk about the upcoming new moon, which is happening on February 27th, and in Vedic astrology this is happening in Aquarius and in the nakshatra called Shatabishak. So I really do feel that this new moon is such an important day. This is the sort of final opportunity for us to really prepare for what's to come in the following months. March is going to be jam-packed, super transformative, but also just the beginning of these transformations. And February, I feel like this month is us really being given this chance to slow down and prepare for what's to come. And the new moon especially is the time where the moon is dark, there's no light. It is kind of like very similar to the symbology of this nakshatra, Shatabishak, which there is a symbol of the empty circle. And a new moon is very similar to that. Like, it is an empty space, like a void of energy where everything sort of slows down if you allow things to slow down, to go inward and reflect, to meditate and really ground yourself and connect with nature and connect with yourself and see what comes up, so that you can really clarify what it is that you're feeling, what it is that you feel like you're wanting out of your life and what you're ready for, and just really ground your energy, solidify your goals, and then you'll feel strong and ready for what's to come in March. Because whatever comes up at this time of the new moon, trust me, it will be like your intentions and your goals and your belief systems, everything is going to be a little bit shaken up in the month of March and moving forward. And that's nothing to be afraid of. It's actually exciting. It's we are all going through a lot of growth and ascension, and moving into March there's going to be so many planets in Pisces, which is a really beautiful, spiritual, ethereal, emotional sign. Pisces energy is not of this earth, so it's not going to feel the most grounding. So I do feel like this new moon is the final opportunity for us to ground as much as we can, so that we can prepare for March and April and May and moving forward, because there will be a lot of changes to come. There is a lot of meaning behind that symbol of the empty circle, which is found in the star, and we will all be tapping into the energies of this on the new moon. But especially if you have any Aquarius placements in your chart, and especially the star in your chart, you will really understand this feeling of really wanting the collective to be united and connected, like that circle, like whole and complete, and understanding that we are all eternally connected in this circle of life. In searching for this divine connection of unity consciousness, there is still this feeling of emptiness and not exactly feeling whole. Through constantly searching for that connection, and it's a theme with this sign. And it doesn't mean that you will always feel disconnected, but there is this theme with Aquarius of searching for this deep connection and what it means to feel whole and not so disconnected from the world. And I do feel there is so much deeper meaning behind why it is Aquarius has to experience this. It is moving towards Pisces and really understanding this deep level of connectedness that a lot of humanity is not really ready for. And it's interesting because I like to connect the new moon to the previous full moon, because we are really learning and integrating the previous full moon to now start this new chapter. And the previous full moon was in the sign of Ashlesha in Cancer, which is so different in so many ways to this star, because the previous full moon, that Ashlesha energy, is the clinging star, the one that wants to attach and bind and connect so deeply. And the lesson of that star is more so about letting go and not being overly attached or addicted to external things. Whereas this star now is the empty circle of really being kind of pretty disconnected from the world. There is this circle, this sort of boundary that you have with not being able to really fully connect with everyone around you. Like, you can be in a crowded room with so many of your friends, family maybe, and you can still feel like there is this circle around you, this big boundary where people can't really get too close. And when they do, there's still this emptiness in that circle, which is symbolic of you, like you. And yeah, just something to think about, this theme of what we learned in the previous full moon, of not needing external like attachments, addictions, vices, like things that are not serving us externally, and not being too like codependent in relationships and friendships, and you know, relying on external things to make you feel whole. But now with this star, it's different. But it's similar. It's like finding that wholeness and that connectedness within. But I see the shadow as well in this star of, you don't want to create too strong of a circle around you and a boundary around you so that you disconnect from the world or from others. And I do feel that is a really strong intention to place at the time of this new moon, especially as we move into so much Piscean energy. And being someone with very strong 12th house and Pisces energy, I like really understand that this is such a strong intention that we need to have, is not to isolate, not to disconnect from the world, because Pisces energy is not of this earth. And that is probably one of the biggest shadow traits of the Piscean 12th house energy that we are all moving into. We are all going to experience this to some level, wherever you have Pisces in your chart, whatever house you have that in, or any planets you have Pisces in, is going to be heavily aspected very soon. It already is, because we have Venus in Pisces at the moment since the end of January, I believe. I will correct that if I'm wrong. And Mercury will be entering Pisces the day after this new moon. So yeah, it's interesting. Mercury is in Pisces, will be in Pisces soon. Our mind, our intellect, the way that we speak and think and communicate. Venus, our love style, the way we relate with others, money, finances, luxuries, the food that we eat as well. Like, a lot of things are already, we are experiencing that Piscean energy. The shadow of the Pisces energy we're moving into is really wanting to detach and disconnect from this material earthly realm that we are supposed to be living and thriving on, and, you know, disconnecting and detaching completely. So this new moon it's an important time for us to set our goals and intentions and sort of plans to help us ground ourselves, ground our energy, while we move into very emotional, sensitive, psychic, subconscious realms. So things like working out more and, you know, eating right, eating nourishing foods to strengthen ourselves, connecting more within, connecting with nature, taking times out to quieten, you know, quieten down and really journal and reflect, because I do feel like the energy we're moving into is going to be, for a lot of us, especially if you're not used to this Pisces energy, it's going to feel a little bit confusing, and like it can feel like quite emotional, and in the psychic realms especially, it can be confusing when you are this Pisces energy, which is boundaryless. And this new moon, the empty circle, really symbolizes a massive boundary. Like you are in that circle and nothing can get to you. And this is a really protective sort of mechanism of this sign of Shatabishak, and it is powerful and it is so beneficial in many ways, because in that boundary of the circle you still have the wisdom and the psychic insights here in this sign, where you're able to see a lot that is going on in the collective, and Rahu rules this sign, so you're able to see a lot of visionary insights can come through here about what our humanity needs more of to thrive. Like new ideas can come up, maybe business ideas, like things that you can do to really help the world can come up. And it's a very protective sign as well, in a way, because you're guarded by that circle, and the emotional world isn't going to, you're not going to be so absorbed by it. But when we move into Pisces next month with all of those energies, we're going to be like a sponge, and you really need to learn to discern what is yours and what is the external world when you're experiencing that Piscean energy, which we all will be experiencing at somewhere in our chart. So just keep that in mind and set your intentions at the time of this new moon to really have as much clarity and discernment that you need to thrive. The name Shatabishak means 100 physicians, 100 healers, which is so beautiful. And I really feel like when I think of that, I see the Aquarius water bearer. I see water as our emotional world, and our emotions can create dis-ease or ease in our mind, body, and spirit. So in the sign of Aquarius, this is when we sort of learn to really hold that and contain that and control that powerful emotional, subconscious, psychic wisdom within us. So it's just a powerful time to set your intentions to heal any sort of dis-ease in your mind, body, and spirit, and to transmute and alchemize that into more uplifting energy that will better serve yourself and better serve this world. And, you know, to cleanse and purify your soul, your mind, your body, anything in you that is not serving your highest good. Any energy leaks and holes in your aura, in your field, set your intentions, like may they be repaired and healed, and may your auras be strengthened so that you're strong enough to really have the discernment when your psychic gifts become more activated towards March and moving onwards. And as you go through a growth and ascension process, because I feel we are all growing and ascending, and this process is going to accelerate very soon as we move into the eclipse season. So yes, set your intentions to strengthen yourself and your spiritual self especially, and your field, your aura. At the time of this new moon, Saturn and Mercury are very close by, so this can feel quite intense and a bit draining and heavy, but at the same time I feel that this is so divinely guided and so beneficial for us, because Saturn is really going to help us ground and feel really clear on a realistic earthly level about what is truly important to us, and our goals, our vision, our plans, and everything that is coming up at this time. Saturn is going to help us discern and see if there is in any way, anywhere that we need to be more discerning, more strict with ourselves or even others. Maybe we need to have better boundaries. Maybe we need to be more disciplined and set higher goals for ourselves. Saturn is going to help us see what we need to do, and like those harder things and the discipline that is needed is really going to help uplift us and strengthen us in so many ways. So yeah, listen to Saturn in this time. Mercury as well, all of our, our thoughts and our intellect it's all connecting with this Aquarian energy. Saturn, Mercury, the sun, the moon. Aquarius is a rebel, totally non-conformist, totally unconventional. So yeah, think about these things. Rahu as well, which is connected to Shatabishak, is very much those things, like super innovative and out of the box thinking, and really creating this new energy and visionary energy, seeing what the world needs and what we can bring to the table that isn't here yet, like super unique and original, which is what our world needs. Like, we don't need any more sheep, we need free thinking spirits. And this is, like, on more of a personal level, this is the opportunity for us to set that intention to tap into our most authentic self and to feel more free in expressing our authentic self and being ourselves, and aligning with the most aligned friendships and communities that really get us, and so that we can feel connected and we don't feel that emptiness within, because that is the shadow I mentioned of Aquarius, is feeling disconnected from the world while being so a part of it, and so much love and like wanting connection, but also feeling super disconnected. So yeah, that is an intention to set to ask yourself, what do you need to feel more connected? When thinking about the previous full moon, which was in Cancer, Ashlesha, and this new moon in Aquarius Shatabishak, there is that completely different sort of themes of, in Ashlesha, being so concerned with connection and clinging to outside people, influences and things, and then in Aquarius being completely detached and disconnected and super independent and aloof. They're both not healthy ways to be. They're both the shadow traits. And I saw a quote that came up on my Instagram. I'll see if I can find it again and post it on my YouTube, but it was talking about sacred separation, and I feel like that is so aligned with what this new moon is trying to teach us, is to do with being in partnerships, in connections that are so deep and so aligned with each other, where you can be yourselves, you can be super free and authentic, in order to be in a connection like that also requires each person to understand the importance of being in that partnership, connection, friendship, whatever it is, but also being able to be in your separation and have that as this sacred space for yourself, so that even though you're in partnerships and these connections, that you're able to have the space to go within, to empty your circle and to connect within. And you know, that sometimes that connection that you're looking for, like nobody externally can give that to you, and you do need that sacred separation. And then you reconnect with, and you know, you share your experiences with the other person, what insights came through when you were in that separation, and like you're more closer after that separation because you miss each other. And it's just, you know, it's a healthy dynamic when each person understands that you don't own the person or the friendship or whatever it is. So yeah, that's just another little point to think about. The star of this new moon is ruled by Rahu, which is a shadow node. Also, the new moon is the shadow moon when the moon is completely dark. So the shadow, our shadow, wants space now. It wants to be seen, to be felt, to be heard. You owe that to yourself, and we are whole and complete, like that circle. Even though it is empty, the circle is whole and complete and eternal. Like our soul never dies, and that empty void is what we need to connect with, so that we're not afraid of what is within us, that we see ourselves and accept and love ourselves wholly and completely. And Venus is in shadow to go retrograde very soon. So there is this theme of self-love and self-acceptance and really honoring and respecting ourselves, our mind, body, and spirit. And I do feel this is so deeply connected with everything that's coming up. And Mercury as well will be retrograding soon. So we are going back to reflect on past traumas and past, you know, situations and experiences that have shaped us till today, that we can maybe revisit in a more enlightened perspective and heal that part of ourselves and give space to that, so that we don't have to carry that pain anymore. And you know, when we're carrying these traumas, I feel like that is when this empty circle, which we could see as the emptiness within us, is that suppression that we feel like is empty because we're not allowing ourselves that space to feel that, so we push it away. But when we give ourselves the space to feel everything and we just accept ourselves for who we are, then it doesn't feel so empty, and we feel so much more connected within. And when we're connected with ourselves as deeply as the deepest, the more deeply we connect within, the more deeply we'll be able to connect with others. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share with this video. I hope that you all have such a beautiful new moon and preparation for the month of March. I will be creating some more videos to do with the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse to come, which is so exciting. So stay tuned for that. But other than that, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the month. Let me know what's happening with you all and how you're all tapping into these new moon energies and the new shifts and changes going on. I'd love to hear what's happening. But other than that, I will see you all in my next video. Bye, my loves.